In this course, total 3 entries are there. Day 1, where Spring Basics are launched. Prerequisite is Core Java and JDBC Basics. Okay. Entry 2, when Spring Boot is launched. Prerequisite is Spring Basics. In this batch, right now, entry 2 is going on. So in order to attend this batch, okay, you need to have Spring Basics in your brain. What kind of Spring Basics you should have? You should know what is IOC container, what is dependency injection, and you should have knowledge about Spring annotations also. You should have knowledge about Spring annotations also. Okay. So these are the various things that we are going to learn, guys. Spring Boot intro, Spring Boot mail, Spring Boot data JPA, Spring Boot MongoDB, Spring Boot scheduling, Spring Boot MVC, Spring Boot security, Spring Boot OAuth, Spring Boot REST, Spring Boot based microservices and Spring Cloud, and Spring Boot reactive programming, Spring Boot and Angular integration, miscellaneous discussion, Spring Boot batch, Spring Boot actuator, messaging. So a lot of things, and we are going to learn 15 plus tools also, guys. Okay. And Spring JDBC, Spring AOP, Spring transaction. So these 3 module discussions will be given as recorded videos. Fine, boss. I think this course is required for everyone, and expected packages as a fresher you can get 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs. As an experienced you can get what 6 lakhs to what 13, 14 lakhs. Right. All right, boss. So shall we revise what we discussed in yesterday's class once? Okay. In yesterday's class, we discussed about various components in Spring Boot application. Auto configure, that is to provide auto configuration based on the jars and starters that are added. Certain classes should come as a Spring Beans, guys. Certain servers should come, certain in-memory databases should come. Spring Boot core will take care of recognizing basic properties file or a YML file, nothing but application.properties and this. Spring Boot CLI is there to develop Spring Boot application from command prompt by giving list of commands. Spring Boot Activator talks about set of non-functional features. How to add set of non-functional features to Spring Boot application, like health metrics, security, monitoring, this kind of thing. They will help us to monitor and maintain the project, guys. Spring Boot starters talks about a lot of jars, okay, to add various functionalities to Spring Boot application. Spring Boot tools, guys. So it speaks about Spring Boot supports Maven, Gradle kind of tools, guys. Right. Right. And later we decided to develop one small application of what? Spring Boot that demonstrates dependency injection. That seriously demonstrates what? Dependency injection. What is our target class? Wish message generator. What is our dependent class? Local date time. This local date time class object I want to inject to wish message generator through Spring Boot. Through Spring Boot, guys. Okay. So this is our requirement. Now tell me, what is the basic thumb rule to develop the Spring Boot application, guys? Configure user-defined classes as Spring Beans using stereotype annotation. Configure predefined classes as Spring Beans using what? bean methods of Spring Boot application class only when they are not coming, when those classes are not coming through auto configuration. Because if those classes are coming as Spring Beans through auto configuration, you need not to use bean methods. Next, provide inputs to auto configuration process using application.properties or YML. Suppose seriously through auto configuration we are getting some beans, but that is expecting some inputs from the programmer, and those inputs should be given through application.properties or YML. YML is alternate to properties file. Okay, guys. Then get IOC container from Spring application.run method, which is a static method in a class called Spring application, guys. Okay. And complete your client application job. Whatever work you want to do in the client application, we can do it. Okay, boss. Now listen, this is the compulsory annotation that every Spring application should contain. What is this? Spring Boot application is combination of how many annotations, boss? 3 annotation. Configuration to make a Java class as what? Configuration class, alternate to Spring Bean configuration file. Next, component scan, guys. Component scan to automatically recognize current package and its sub packages. Maintained stereotype annotation based Java classes as what? Spring Beans. Okay, then enable auto configuration, and based on the Java starter add, okay, this annotation will start performing what? Auto configuration. While doing that auto configuration, if any inputs are required, it will try to collect from what? Application.properties file. It will seriously try to collect from what? Application.properties file. Right. Everyone getting my point, guys? Okay. Yeah, this thumb rule you should remember in your brain forever, boss. Whenever you are developing any Spring Boot application, this thumb rule should be there in your brain. Open this. Done, guys. Now listen. Procedure to develop. Procedure to develop Spring Boot first application. In this example, no auto configuration. It takes time to show auto configuration. Here, purely dependency injection. Okay, first of Spring Boot first application showing dependency injection. Showing dependency injection. Okay, guys. Yeah, first I will give the development steps, then I will give the flow. Step number 1. Okay, keep the following software setup ready. Yes, guys. Number 1. Okay, guys. Number 1, Eclipse IDE with the STS plugin. Yeah, because I'm preferring with this option, guys. Eclipse IDE with STS plugin. Which version of STS plugin, boss? 3.9 is successfully working, boss. And don't install multiple versions of STS plugin, boss. Okay. Eclipse IDE, anything you can take. Any latest one you can take. Okay. So 2020. I'll show how to add STS plugin. Don't worry. anything you can take, any version you can take, any version, okay. Eclipse IDE, any version, okay. But try to take the latest one, no problem. Step number 2, launch Eclipse IDE. That's it. Only this is enough. No need of arranging anything else, boss. No need of arranging anything else. If you have this, this is more than enough. Okay. And JDK 1.8 plus. Anything but 1.8 plus, boss. Next, launch Eclipse IDE by choosing workspace folder. By choosing workspace folder. I think everyone knows what is workspace folder. The folder where projects will be saved, guys. The folder where projects will be saved. Okay, guys, will be saved. I'll show how to install STS plugin, but let me launch IDE first. Let me launch IDE first. 2020-06 is there. I have 2021-03 is there. Both versions are there. Okay, let me use latest only. Okay, guys. Sandhya Jagannath, first let me launch Eclipse IDE, then I can show how to install STS plugin. Fine, boss. Right. What is our, let me take any folder name, Spring. Okay, Spring, this one. Okay, guys. Spring is the folder. There I will take, what is this, guys? NTSP BMS. NTSP BMS. Naresh BMS. What is that? 714. 714 boot. This is the folder I am taking, boss. This is the folder I am taking. Yes, boss. Yeah. First of all, to install STS plugin, boss, help. Okay. Help. There is option of Eclipse Marketplace, guys. Eclipse Marketplace. Help, Eclipse Marketplace is there. Yeah. There you search for STS. There you search for STS. There you search for STS. Yes, guys, 3.9 is there. Did you notice it? No, this is 4 is there. Leave it. This one, 3.9.14. And you have to click on install. Yeah. Okay, guys. Bindusagar Reddy, you should have internet connection. Okay, select all the things, say confirm. Okay, you have confirm. Right. Then reinstall your Eclipse. Still you are getting errors. Reinstall your Eclipse. Problem with your Eclipse. Right. Takes bit time, guys. Okay. Meanwhile, what is this? To install STS plugin. To install STS plugin, boss. To install STS plugin. What is that? Help menu. What is this? Eclipse Marketplace. That's a place where all plugins are available. Search for STS. Okay, check. Search for STS. Search for what? STS. Select. Okay, what is that? Select. Select. Yeah. IntelliJ is another IDE, boss. Definitely, there will be small differences, but industry standard IDE is select Spring Tool. Okay, Spring Tool suite 3.9.3. This version only working properly. Then install. See, guys, instead of install, you have seen installed. Instead of install, there is a other word called installed. That means already it is installed, boss. Already it is installed. Okay, guys, fine. IntelliJ is not industry standard IDE, boss. It's a commercial one. Okay, as of now in the market, 95% Eclipse with STS is going on, and 1-2 companies are using STS IDE. So that's why don't waste your time on IntelliJ. If you are interested, you can practice, not a problem. But industry standard IDE is Eclipse with this one. Okay, right, fine. 3.1.4 kind of thing. Mr. Bindusagar Reddy, problem is there with Eclipse. Please reinstall. Don't waste my time. I already given suggestion. Why are you not following it? And my simple suggestion is stop practicing parallelly. I'm requesting everyone, stop practicing parallelly. Focus on the class. Fine. Right, guys. Accept the terms and condition. Accept the term. Still you are getting error. Binsagar Reddy, change the version. Change the version. Okay, STS is a plugin that provides additional features to the Eclipse. Any plugin provides additional features, boss. Plugin is a patch software that provides additional features on the top of existing IDE. Any plugin is a pluggable one. Pluggable means why we plug? To add extra benefits. And STS IDE, STS plugin provides environment to work with Spring Boot, guys. And also simplify Spring-based application development. Okay, guys. Install, accept terms and condition. Okay, I think select all, and then say next. Okay, and then say next. Rohan Mutyal, stop using Eclipse Neon. All these are very old. Start working with the latest versions. Start working with the latest versions, please. Okay. Eclipse Neon, Eclipse Mars, they are very old one. So next, accept terms and conditions. Okay, guys. Then restart ID. What is that? Restart ID. Latest version of Spring Boot is 2.5, it seems. It's 2.4 or 2.5. Spring Boot latest version. Okay, is 2.4 or 2.5. Right, boss. Yeah, that's going on. That's going on. Yes, it is asking to restart, boss. Once everything is done, it is asking to restart ID. Fine. It's like, what is plugin? Array, you have a normal TV, but you want to enjoy Amazon Prime in that. So, Amazon Prime, Netflix, this kind of OTT platforms. Now, what you have to do? You have to add one device called Amazon Fire Stick. Amazon Fire Stick is a plugin added to normal TV in order to see, in order to make it as a smart TV. In order to make it as a smart TV. So because of small device added to normal TV has become what? Smart TV or not? The same story here also. So Eclipse is not having some facility. Eclipse is not having some facility. But if you add the plugin, that extra facility will come. That's it. So plugin is a array. Internally, these plugins are jar files only, boss. Anything in Java, jar only. Internally, plugins are coming in the form of jars. When you add plugin, what happens? Internally, some jars will be added to Eclipse ID so that new facilities will come. Plugin is a patch software that provides additional functionalities to existing software. Okay. STS plugin makes Eclipse IDE to develop Spring Boot applications very easily. Spring Boot applications very easily. Moreover, brings STS IDE features to Eclipse IDE. Okay, guys. STS IDE features to Eclipse IDE. Are you understanding my statement? Okay. Asu Singh, how to install Eclipse IDE also you are asking me? Great. Okay. Eclipse download you click on, boss. Go for this. Go for this. If you go down, here we are having latest version 2021-03. 2021-03, here is the option. For Windows, you have to click on it. You have to download as a zip file. Yes. Copy this. I'm sharing with you people. Okay. Copy this. I'm sharing with you people, guys. Array, free companies survives by offering services. By offering services, guys. How open source companies will be. Ravi Kumar Banda, how to concentrate on everyone, boss. Please. You look at the chat box based on the questions I am spending time here. Okay. To download Download Eclipse ID. Yes, we are ready with. Okay, guys. Fine. So we have launched Eclipse IDE. This is the setup, boss. Okay. This is step number 1, step number 2. Okay. Step number 3. Step number 3. Okay. Create. Yeah, it is not Maven or Gradle project, guys. It is different. Create Spring Starter project. Create Spring Starter project. Spring Starter project in Eclipse IDE. And that option comes only after installing STS plugin. And this icon is there na. This icon indicates there is STS plugin in your Eclipse, boss. Okay. File new. File new. Go to others. Okay. Others. Satish Kumar, entire industry is using Eclipse. So when Eclipse, and moreover, STS plugin is bringing STS IDE features to Eclipse. So that's the reason we are using Eclipse with STS plugin. You talk to 10 working people, take their opinion. All of them will confirm. All of them will confirm. Come on, guys. We are working with STS with what? Eclipse with STS plugin only. Fine. Okay. Starter project. Yes, there is option of check it out, guys. Spring Starter project. There is option of Spring Starter project. Come on. Right. Then stay. This is the box you will get, guys. Here you have to give the name of the project. So generally, I will start naming like this. Boot Pros 1. Okay, guys. Boot Pros 1. Okay. Boot Pros 1. Everyone look at the chat box. Some of the working people are confirming that they are using Eclipse with STS. Right. Boot Pros 1. What is this? Dependency injection. Dependency injection. Right. Listen, guys. Service URL. This is the URL that it internally uses to create our Eclipse project. This is fixed. You need not to change anything, boss. This is fixed. You need not to change. But while creating this project, net connection is required. What is the tool you want to use internally while creating this project? Maven. Packaging jar, that means standalone application. Where means web application. Java version, which Java version you want to use? Industry standard is, okay, guys. Industry standard is, stop doing parallel practicals. Please listen, everyone. Industry standard is 8 or 11, boss. Okay, if you want, you can use latest 16 also. But generally, we prefer either 8 version or 11 version. These two are industry standard. Okay, most of the projects 8, some projects 11. Right. Which language? See, I said, we can develop Spring Boot application in 3 languages. Okay, one is Java, one is Kotlin, other one is Groovy. Yesterday I was talking about this. So Java is enough. Okay. What is the group? Group. Generally, organization name is group, guys. Organization name group. Next, artifact, project name. Project name. 90% of companies are using still Java 8. Only 1-2 companies are using what? Few companies are moved to Java 11. These two are standard versions in the industry. As of now, you don't worry about other versions. Right, guys? Group, that means organization name. Artifact, project name, guys. Version, any version you can give, that's not a problem. Description, demo project for Spring Boot. No, I want to take what? First application of Spring Boot. Next, package. Yeah, where configuration class come, client application should come. Always take, always take it as a root package. Always take it as a root package, because in this package one class will come. That class will act as what? Configuration class come client application having @ Spring Boot application annotation. Having @ Spring Boot application annotation. Okay, sir, why are you not taking some other name? com.nt.config you can take now. Why are you taking com.nt? Com for company, NT for Naresh Technologies. Listen. Under these other packages we will take like service, DAO, X, Y, Z. And I said, @component scan annotation of @Spring Boot application is having one wonderful feature, boss. What is that? Current package and its sub packages related stereotype annotations based classes will be automatically scanned, that means detected, and automatically becoming what? Spring beans. To enjoy this feature, I always try to make sure that configuration class come on, configuration class come, client application is always there in the root package, is always there in the root package. Say next. 1 minute before next, guys. Before next, let me take this one as a screenshot. Say next. Okay, today 2.5 is the latest version. Today, these are the various starters, boss. Various starters that Spring is offering, that Spring Boot is offering. Today, no starters are required, boss. Say next. See, guys, it is still contacting that website to prepare the project. To prepare the project, in that process it is gathering our information. So ultimately this website will be used to create every Spring Boot project. Save finish. Okay, com means company, NT means Naresh Technology. You can take anything, your choice. You can take your choice. What is the process, guys? File menu. File menu. Sandhya Jagannath, can you stop practicing? Can you listen the current class? Okay, can you listen the current class? That's the number one. Number two, you should always install Eclipse JDBC flavor. Eclipse JDBC flavor. Everyone, please stop. Please stop installing Eclipse parallelly. Please stop installing STS plugin parallelly. Everyone, please. Because if you do that, you never listen the class. Okay, file menu, new, others, search for Spring Starter project. Spring Starter project. Okay. Spring Starter project. Then paste. Okay. Service URL. Okay. Base URL. Fixed, guys. Fixed URL where Spring Boot project is created. You go for Spring Boot CLI also, there internally this will be used, guys. Okay, guys, this is project name. This is project name. Here you can use Gradle also. In the place of Maven, you can use Gradle. I said na, few days we use Maven, few days we use what? Gradle. So jar for standalone application. It is for standalone application. This is for standalone application. Okay, language to use. Language to develop Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application. Yes. Okay. This is Java version. Fine. Group, generally organization name, company name or organization name. Organization name. Okay. Then project name, artifact is all these are Maven terminologies, guys. Project name. Next, version. Yeah, project version. Project version. Description, fine. So package name, generally root package name, where client come, configuration class, configuration class, configuration class will be created having, come on guys, at the rate. Okay guys, at the rate Spring Boot application annotation. Okay guys, Spring Boot application annotation. Okay, understanding my statement, guys? Okay, fixed URL where Spring Boot project will be created. Whatever inputs you give, taking all the inputs in this particular website, project will be created, boss. In this particular web project will be created. This is the URL. This is the URL where project will be created. Is that clear? Fine, boss. Okay. Next, select no starters. Select no starters. Come on. Select no starter. Right now, no starters. In next applications, we required, boss. Select no starters and finish. Okay, guys. Done, boss. Right. Listen, these are the various things that we got, guys. But before getting into that, let me say one thing, boss. In Maven or Gradle tool, guys. Gradle tool. Project or jar. Jar file is identified. Jar file is identified with 3 details. In fact, 4 details. With the 4 details. Number 1, I think 3 only. My calculation count. Number 1, group ID. Group ID. Generally, what, guys? Company name. Company name. Company name of project or jar file. Next, artifact. You have to habituate to these wordings in Maven or Gradle. Artifact ID. Artifact ID. Okay, guys. What is this? Project or jar file name. Number 3, version. In case of project version. Okay, guys. Company name of the project. Project or jar file version. Yes. So while Yes, by specifying these three details only, you can say this is the project I want to create. And by specifying these three details only, you can say this is the jar I want to download. This is the jar file that I want to download. So please habituate with these terminologies: group ID, artifact ID, version. Is that clear, guys? So that's the reason while creating project also, I have given group ID, artifact ID, and version. Given or not given? Okay, in future while downloading jar files to project from Maven or Gradle repositories, and that jar file information also we will mention, our starter information also we will specify, okay, through group ID, artifact ID, and version. So please habituate with the terminology as early as possible. Okay, this is the basic project structure we get, guys. Okay, this is to add Java code. This is to deal with properties file. This is to deal with unit testing code. JUnit testing code, guys. JUnit testing code. This is folder where unit testing code will be added. This is folder where properties file will be added. Got the point or not? Got the point or not? Come on. This is the folder where source code will be added, boss. See, guys, one default package has come and one default class has come. This I will call it as configuration class come. Okay, font problem. I will reduce the issue, sort out the issue. Colors and fonts basics. Here we are having text font, guys. Edit bold 14. Okay, I'll take 16. My favorite font is Calibri. Save okay, fine. Right, boss. See, guys, this is client come configuration classes. Client come configuration classes. For worry about what I am presenting, remaining things I will present in remaining things I will present at right time. So many people unnecessarily excited and asking what is this, what is this. At right time I will introduce every folder. If you start studying like this, you never study anything from any faculty. I request everyone, everything will be launched, but everything will be launched at right time. Fine. Please concentrate on what I am presenting. Remaining things I will introduce at right time. There is an order of learning. Right, boss? Spring Boot process 1. This is client come configuration class, guys. This is client come. How can you say it's a client? Array main method is there. That's why. Okay. Why it is called configuration class? You keep the pointer on the @ Spring Boot application annotation. Okay. It internally having Spring Boot configuration equal to @ configuration. @ enable auto configuration. Okay, guys. Next, @ component scan. These three annotations are there, na? These three annotations are there, na? See, this Spring Boot configuration is internally using @ configuration. Spring Boot configuration is new one, which is internally using what? @ configuration. Did you observe that? So @ configuration, no problem, boss. So since @ configuration is there directly or indirectly, that's why I'm calling it as a configuration class. Since main method is there, that's why I'm calling it as what? Client application. Are you listening my statement, guys? Okay. So start adding new packages in this. Start adding new package. I will give directory structure at the end, don't worry. So here is my package, guys. com.nt.beans. Any name you can take to add more spring beans. To add more spring beans, guys. Okay, observe very carefully. I am making sure that here also com.nt is there. Why, sir? If I add any Java class having stereotype annotation, the the component scan that is there in configuration class automatically detects or not without me writing @component scan separately. Come on. What I said, @component scan that is there in Spring Boot application recognizes current packages Java classes with stereotype annotation and sub packages Java classes with stereotype annotation automatically as Spring Beans, right? So that's the reason I'm wantedly keeping configuration class come client application in the root package, and I'm adding remaining classes to the sub packages with stereotype annotation, so that without me writing @component scan, the @component scan annotation of Spring Boot application annotation will take care of what? Detecting them and making them as Spring Beans. Come on. Detecting them and making them as Spring Beans. I hope you are understanding my statement. Yesterday we discussed, it's not a new thing, boss. We exactly studied yesterday about the. Let's have a look on these three things. Copy this, open it. Yes, guys. Say paste. Sir, I missed initial 3 classes. What to do? Just a minute. I will give the URL. Don't worry. At least you will come out of the psychological feeling. Discussion, guys. Discussion. Discussion. Yeah. These 3 are the URLs. Say paste. Okay, guys. Everyone, please try to have these 3 things. If anyone miss class, anyone wants to listen class once again, you can go for it. Yes, these are the backup videos. Backup videos. Bipin Yadav, problem is not there from my side. Check your net connection. Okay, boss. Right, guys. Fine, boss. So, shall we get into the discussions, boss? Right. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Now, this is to place user defined classes. This is client come configuration class. Okay, I think now there is no need of any other packages. Shall we start the development of the application, boss? Right. First, my target class, boss. Okay, guys. Some target class. Yeah, package is there. Wish message generator. Wish message generator. Okay, guys. Sir, if someone is asking, sir, I don't follow this convention. Client come configuration class is not there in what? Root package, and other classes are not there in the sub package. Then what should I do? Then you have to write explicitly @component scan. If you don't follow this convention, you should explicitly write @component scan. Are you understanding my point, guys? Okay, fine. Prasad, this is This is not generated by Spring Boot, guys. This is the process. This is the class that is coming because of STS plugin. This is the class that we have done in what? STS plugin. So the ID is simplifying our life. So Spring Boot is not giving. ID is giving 1-2 default classes to simplify our job. Okay, if you create dynamic web project, it will give web.xml. Okay, if you ask me why it is giving, means it is giving to simplify our task. Come on, when you create any project, 1-2 default files they will give to make our development process easy, nothing else. Right. Okay, guys. Fine, boss. Now listen, I want to configure it as everyone please concentrate. Stop thinking here and there. Wish message generator.java. Okay. Some people are asking me question, why 2 times, sir? It is not 2 times, Ra Babu. com.nt is internally having what? One class, one package. It is not 2 times. They are saying that inside com.nt, one package is there, one class is there. Again, same package is highlighted here. It looks like that. Okay. Fine. @component scan. @component scan. Bean ID is WMG. This, sorry, it's not component scan, it's a component. Bean ID is WMG, guys. Yeah. Which one? Spring one. Right, boss. Next. Here is my private local date time date. Here @auto void control plus shift plus O. Okay. Now listen carefully. Systrace. I am just taking that one to confirm this class object is created. 0 param constructor. Right. Now I want to have one small business method. Okay. What is this? Public string. Generate wish message. Generate wish message for the given user. Okay. Given user. Anyhow, I am going to inject having system date and time. Get current hour of the day. Get current hour of the day. Here, what is this? Into hour is equal to date dot. Okay, get hour. Gives in 24 hours format, guys. 24 hours format. 24 hours format means 0 to 23 will come. Railway timetable message, guys. Then generate wish message. Array logic we already know, boss. Okay. Hour less than or equal to 12. Then tell me. Wantedly, I am taking same example because we already developed similar example in Spring also. Good morning. You can compare. For that reason, I am taking same logic. Plus user. Next. Else if hour less than 16. Return good afternoon. Return, what is that, guys? Good afternoon, user. Next, else if, come on, hour less than 20. Hour less than 20. Return, what is this? Good evening. Else, good night. Else, good night. Okay, guys. Else, good night. Done, boss. Okay. To give the feeling this method is executed, systrace. Done. Okay, target class is configured successfully, boss. This is our target class, which is a user defined class. That's why I configured with stereotype annotation. Field level injection. Here at the rate, this one is doing what? Field injection or field level injection. Because we are using annotation on the top of field. Field means member variable. So that's why it is called field injection. If you write at the rate auto void on the top of setter method, setter injection. If you write at the rate auto void on the top of parameterized constructor, then constructor injection. If you write at the rate auto void on the top of arbitrary method, then it will do what? Arbitrary method based injection. Come on. Right. No default injection. Every injection you have to choose. Kasi, there is no default injection. Every injection you have to choose. Fine. Now listen. Now I'm going to client come configuration class. Yeah, generally this name will come based on the project name, boss. This name will come based on the project name. If you don't like it, you can change it. If you don't like it, you can change it. There is no compulsory rule. You should continue with that only. Okay. Right. So now tell me how to configure predefined classes as Spring Beans. Sir, why don't you add annotations on predefined classes? We cannot. Why? Can we open source code of predefined classes? Can you open and edit the source code on predefined classes? First tell me. No. No means no, right now, boss? So that's why what is the other option? We have to think about at the rate bean method. What this at the rate bean method says? Hey programmer, I call that method automatically. There you keep the logic of creating object for class. I will take that object and I will make it as a Spring Bean. I will take the object, I will make it as a Spring Bean. Are you listening my statement, boss? Yes. Okay, boss. Public local date time. What is that, guys? Public local date time. Create local date time. Create local date time. Why, sir? Why? Because predefined classes we cannot open source code, we cannot add annotations. No question of working with XML. No question, but we are still configure them as Spring Beans. So that's why they have come up with some via media solution. A programmer, you give object and I will take the object and I'll make it as a Spring Bean. I will make it as a Spring Bean. Are you listening my point? Using what? At the rate bean annotation. Your name is nothing but bean ID, boss. Okay. LDT. LDT. Control plus shift plus O. Yeah. Here, what is this? Sys trace. Here also sys trace. Now tell me here. Local date time. LDT is equal. Any name you can take. Here, you want to get object having system date and time. You have to use one factory method. What is that factory method? Now. Now is the static method of class giving its own class object having system date and time, current date and time, return LDT, return LDT. Listen, guys, user defined class is configured with stereotype annotation. Predefined class is configured with using at the rate bean method of what? Configuration class. Because Spring Boot application annotation class is also what? Configuration class. Come on. And we are doing field level injection. And injected one we are using in the business method. This is my business method, right? In the target class, we have taken business method. Injected object we are using in business method to generate the wish message. Right. Now we have to test it whether it is really working or not. Understanding my point. Anil P, When configuration class is coming automatically, what is need of taking in a separate package, separate class? You can take, but all these are not required. Okay, guys. Ashutosh Prasad, first of all, I want local date time object with system date and time. And that's a predefined class, and they have given method called now. When they give method called now, how can I use new operator? Prasad, yes. Can we write @bean configuration inside the component class? You cannot write, because @bean methods of, come on, @bean methods of configuration class only will be executed automatically. Configuration of configuration class only will be executed automatically. In remaining places, they will not be executed automatically. If this method is placed in, which may say generator class, sorry, that will not be executed automatically. When not executed, okay, no object. No object means no Spring Bean. Are you understanding my statement? So @bean method that are there in configuration class will be called by IOC container automatically. Are you understanding my statement? Is that clear? Okay, boss. Now listen carefully. Now we have to develop client come client. Client application code, guys. Client code. Yeah, we need a IOC container. So we don't create IOC container today. Why? Because run method is having so many things to do. So many things to do. Are you understanding my point? So many things to do. So many things to do. One task is what? Creating IOC container. So, and it returns that IOC container whenever you want as the return type of the run method. So that's the reason I am taking it as application context CTX is equal to Spring application dot run. Run is a static method of Spring application class. Class name itself Spring application. It will bootstrap Spring Boot boss. It will add Spring Boot support. It will do nearly 10 to 12 operation. Right now we are least bother about 10 to 12 operations. In future we will talk when I give complete flow, guys. One task is creating IOC container. Using which class are? Annotation config application context. Why annotation config? Array, it is no XML. No XML means what? Annotation config application context will be used internally, and IOC container will be created by taking given class as configuration class. What is given class? Current class name. So that's why it take given class as configuration class, creates IOC container of type annotation config application context, that we are catching it. Tell me, guys, in Spring Boot application, we get IOC container or we create IOC container? We get IOC container. There is no need of creating IOC container. Okay. F3 is the shortcut key to open source code. Maven Gradle comes with the default decompilers, boss. Maven and Gradle tool comes with what? Default, this one. Yeah, in Spring we create, whereas in Spring Boot, in Spring we create it, boss, whereas in Spring Boot, are you understanding my statement? Whereas in Spring Boot, we get it. In Spring Boot, we get it. Listen, guys, look at the run method. It is doing so many things. And one thing, it will do so many things, boss. It will do so many things. Context is equal to null. Somewhere you can see that. Somewhere we can see that container creation code also will be there. Yes, configurable environment. No. I have to show somewhere. Listen, context is equal to create application context. If you open the source code of this method, okay, guys, factory dot create. If you open source code of that method, if you go like this, somewhere logic will be there to create IOC container, boss. That run method is taking care of IOC container creation. That is what I'm trying to say, boss. Nothing else. Okay. Super. It will do many things. What it will do internally, I will discuss later. For the timing, it is doing what? Container creation by taking given class as what? Configuration class. It will use in that process. It can take some command line argument, can inject to bean properties, but right now we are least bothered about ARGS. This is just passed only to satisfy syntax. Next, get target Spring Bean class object from IOC container. From what container? IOC. Tell me, guys, when you have a IOC container, that to application context, what method I should call to get any Spring Bean class object? What method I should call to get any Spring Bean class object? ctx.getBean method, right? Come on, as part of Spring Basics, everyone might have aware of this. Yes, guys. Tell me, what is this? Wish message generator. Wish message generator. Generator is equal to, okay, ctx.getBean. WMG is the bean ID. Okay, guys. Ashish S. Current class is configuration class. When you create container by using okay, guys, create see, boss, spring application dot run method internally uses annotation config application context by taking configuration class. Right now current class itself configuration class, guys. That's why that is passed as the argument value. Okay. Right, boss. Wish message generator dot class. Everyone focus. If any questions are there, I will take at the end. Some people are getting disturbance in the flow. I will take queries at the end, not now. Wish message generator ctx dot getBean WMG wish message generator dot class. Now tell me, guys, invoke methods. Invoke methods. Now tell me, sysout. Otherwise, I'll make it string result is equal to generator dot generate wish message of Raja. Super, guys. Now tell me, sysout result. Now at the end, close container. I would like to close the container. ctx dot close, guys. So this will take care of what? Closing IOC container. Oh, this is not correct. Proper typecasting is required, guys. Okay, ctx dot close, add cast. No, that is not print stream. Yes, guys. Configuration context. Yes, I'm just doing typecasting, and where close method is there, guys. Okay, this will close the container. And you don't believe our application development is over, boss. Flow I will give, don't worry. Flow definitely I will give. First, you settle down in the development. Right click, guys. Run as Spring Boot application. Run as Spring Boot application. Allow access. Allow access. Look at the console, boss. Yes. Listen. Listen. Target class object is created. @bean method of configuration class come client application executed. Business method is called and we are getting result good morning Raja. So that means local date time class object is injected to wish message generator class object or not. Definitely injected. And that is used in the business method. We got the result. We definitely got the result. I hope everyone got it, guys. You can run in two angles, guys. You can happily run in two angles. Run as a Spring Boot application or Java application. Your choice. Your choice. Both are same only. Don't think much. Okay. Both are same. You can run same thing. One and the same. Tell me, guys, easy or difficult? I hope you convinced and settled. Okay. So what is the next step here we are having, boss? Step number 3. Create Spring Starter project in Eclipse IDE. Okay. Next one. Step number 4. Develop the application. Develop the application code. So then what I do is I'll take this one as a screenshot. Make it, boss. Right here to place source code. Yes, this is to place properties, comma, YML files. This is to place unit testing code, guys. This is to place, guys, unit testing code. Right. Okay, all these are various files related to Maven. Today you don't worry about it. So many files will come related to Maven, you don't worry. But sir, some default jars are coming. Check it out. Spring Boot related jar, Spring Core module related jar. Okay, will come automatically. JUnit related jar automatically will come it. Okay, boss. Fine. Is that clear, guys? So all this remaining, all stuff is related to Maven related files, guys. So for example, you take pom.xml is Maven related files, but basic dependencies, the STS plugin related starter project creation itself will take care. The STS plugin related starter project creation itself will take care, guys. I hope you can practice this. Can you practice this, guys? Easy or difficult? Coding wise, not at all. Process is there, bit process is there. So not regular Maven project. You have to think about creating what project? Spring Boot project as a Spring Starter project. So a lot of domination of STN plugin is there. Always just remember that. Yes, flow I will give in tomorrow session. Don't worry. I don't relax by just giving the code, guys. Flow I will give. Flow definitely I will give. Today you just habituate by writing the code. Okay, tomorrow definitely we spend time on flow. And in this example, no auto configuration at all. No auto configuration at all, because it's a very basic example. We are just trying to use Spring Boot to develop one Spring application, that too performing dependency injection. Right. Right, boss? So this is the code. You please practice. So now I will take some queries, boss. Okay, now onwards, I will do one thing. When I'm explaining something seriously, I will ignore the questions. At the end of the topic, I will take the queries. Right. Okay, guys. Nitish Maurya, application context container perform pre-instantiation of singleton scope beans. That's why both bean objects will be created during pre-instantiation process. That means when Spring application dot run method is called, that time only pre-instantiation of both singleton scope beans takes place. Right, boss. Sandhya, we should install which package under Eclipse 1? Always prefer Enterprise Edition. Always prefer JWE flavor of Eclipse. And more importantly, this one, Eclipse ID for Enterprise Java and Web Developers. Enterprise Java and Web Developers. Clear, guys? In that one, you have to choose this one. This is using this we can develop only standalone application. Using this we can develop all kinds of application. Use common sense. Spring Boot is there only to develop standalone application or all kinds of application. All kinds of application. Definitely we have to choose the best. Right. Any other queries, boss? Can we create same project in STS? Same project, same process you can use in STS also. Right, boss. Now tell me. Jayesh, at the rate bean annotation, which injection follows, sir? At the rate bean is not for injection, boss. At the rate bean is there to make predefined class object as Spring Bean. Okay. Maven plugin will come automatically. Gradle plugins will come automatically in the latest version of Eclipse IDE. You need not to do anything. Jayesh, at the rate bean annotation is not for injection. At the rate bean annotation is there to make Java method returned object as a Spring Bean. You are going wrong way. At the rate auto void is for injection. At the rate auto void is for injection. At the rate component and at the rate bean are there. At the rate component and at the rate bean are there to make Java classes as Spring Beans. Okay, guys, listen. Someone asked me question. What is the difference between at the rate component and at the rate bean? Anyone can tell me, boss? Both are there for configuration, but what is the difference? Okay, guys. Now tell me, guys. At the rate component can make only user defined classes as Spring Beans. Can make only user defined classes as Spring Beans. And it is class level annotation. Class level annotation. Okay, guys. Next. At the rate bean can make any user defined. Array, at the rate bean can be used for user defined also, but generally we don't use. Generally we don't use. Are you understanding my statement, boss? We can use, but generally we don't use. Because inside method, if we create user defined class object, it will make that object as Spring Bean. If we create predefined class object, it can also make predefined class object as Spring Bean. Are you getting my point? But generally we don't use for user defined. Okay. Can make a user defined class or predefined class object given by underlaying method. Understanding my point? given by underlaying method. Okay, underlaying method as Spring Bean, and and it can be used at method level only in configuration class. Configuration class. I hope you enjoyed, boss. Okay, so we can be used for user defined, but we don't use boss. Fine. Kashi, Kashi Edumati, Kashi Edumati. Okay, IOC container is there to create bean class objects and to manage dependency among the objects. Coming to Spring, creating objects manually using new operator is meaningless. Coming to Spring using new operator is meaningless. So that's the reason we are trying to configure Java classes as Spring Beans. We are trying to inject one object with another object using @auto void. Understanding my statement? Prunas Bangar, Spring Basics will not be discussed in this particular batch because that is already completed. Wait for next batch, which will be started in 6 p.m. after 1 month. After 1 month. Okay, guys. Right. Okay. Kasi Edumati, object creation using what? Spring annotations or new operator is at the end object only. Okay, assignment of one object with another object, either through auto void or manual process, also one and the same. But we are not doing manually. We want container to take care of all these things. Think about, you have hundreds of classes having dependency on each other. You prefer doing it manually or you prefer someone doing automatically? So that's the reason Spring dependency management is popular. Okay, I think STS ID is only one version that is for both standalone and web application. Okay, Purush Bangar, your request cannot be taken. You have to wait for the new batch. Okay, guys. Sonu Gupta, there is no need of adding @Spring Boot application annotation in multiple places. In one place is enough. That is client come configuration class. Okay, guys. Next. Can we change the name of class? Yes, you can change the name of the class. Yogiraj, you can change. You can give your choice name. But same thing you have to pass in run method also. Method class both only method level. I think it is only method level. Not I think, it's conformly only method level. Okay, guys. Few guys who want to work on payment related thing, user will use our payment related Spring Boot starter by adding dependency. Yes, but payment related Spring starters are not there. Spring modules related Spring starters are there. Thank you. It's clear. Nagendra, who will create object when we annotate @bean? Container or developer? Developer will create, container takes that object and makes it as a Spring Bean. Okay, guys. FB is going to ban, it seems, sir. We will see. If ban is happened, we will stop using. We'll go for other alternate. How to check How to check Spring Toolsuite IDE standalone or web application? There is no such categorization. Install by default. It is for web application. I'm facing internet connection. Can you please say your broadband connection? I think I'm using Airtel one. How to add one more package to another package? One more package to another package? No, that is not the way, boss. You create package from its base folder. You create both packages independently. So enough. There is no need of adding one package to another package. Auto sharing memory for object creation compared to manually. No, there is no such things. No memory save is nothing. Everyone uses same memory. Okay, Bhupendra Kumar, I answered your question. Please don't ask same question again and again. Okay, guys. Nitish Maurya, Though you have multiple layers, if those layers are having user defined classes, if since you are going to take them as sub packages of root package, they will be detected automatically. So there is no need of taking separate configuration class. If you are personally interested, you can take it. Okay, guys. Nice, boss. Can't we create Spring Boot project without URL spring.io? Not possible. Can we disable auto configuration in Spring Boot? Yes, possible. What basic knowledge required to learn Spring Boot? Spring basics knowledge is required, where you should know what is IOC container, setter injection, constructor injection, and Spring annotations. I have knowledge on Spring Core. Can I attend Spring Boot class? Jyoti Sravanya, you are very much eligible to attend this class. Okay, Deepak, as of now, payment related starters are not there. If there, you can take it. Why we create client come configuration class in main package, not in sub package? Beam Kumar, Beam Kumar, on in client come configuration class, we are having @ Spring Boot application annotation. Everyone, please listen. Inside that, what is having? Inside that, it is having component scan annotation, and that is having capability of recognizing current package and sub packages classes that are having stereotype annotations as Spring Beans automatically. To take that advantage, we are trying to take this class in what? Root package. Naresh, microservices is part of this course, and we are going to spend 30 to 40 session only on microservices. Right. What kind of code we write in src/test/java package? Test/java package. Are you getting my point there? Yes. Okay. There we are going to share. Okay. Unit testing code, JUnit testing code. Sabita, everyday class content is uploaded to Paintbrush. Okay. It is there in the Facebook. Just to go by date and download each Paintbrush, and you zip all the Paintbrush together once, because uploading of zip file is not allowed in Facebook. If possible, I will try to upload, but you can do on your own independently. Okay, how to check out project from my system from GitHub, sir? GitHub. Satish Kumar, GitHub classes are separately there in the YouTube channel of Naresh IT, which are provided by me. You can watch it or wait until I launch the tool. For AWS, what is the prerequisite? Okay, we have Nazir sir or Riaz sir. We have Riaz sir, okay, who is conducting AWS classes. To attend AWS classes, nothing is prerequisite. Right from Linux, they will be covered. Partha, JUnit is part of the course. As a tool, we will learn. As a tool, we will learn. Okay. Thank you, guys. Yes, once I give JUnit knowledge, instead of developing client code, sometimes we are going to write JUnit test cases to test the application. Okay, boss. Right, boss. Okay, let me put this project in GitHub also. I will share that one. Okay, Ravi Kumar, Paintbrush images will be there, PDFs will be there. Okay, but classroom applications will be given through either Google Classroom or GitHub. I'll share this project for GitHub. Okay, Raj Patel, concentrate on classes. Don't worry about the meeting IDs. I don't know, from the beginning, your focus is on meeting IDs, not on the class. Focus on class. Okay. Let me share GitHub URL of this batch to you people, guys. Yes, Pavan Kumar, if @auto ID is applied at what? Constructor level, it perform constructor injection. Okay. Constructor level and setter method level, it performs setter injection. But in annotation, we are having one more facility, that is field level injection, boss. Field level injection. Others, Here is my Git repositories and staging. Yeah, don't worry about this process. Clone the repository. Oh, I think now that is. Anyone can share our Git URL, guys? Anyone can share our Git URL? Anyone can share our Git URL, guys? Yes, I got it. I got it. Not required. Others need not to share. Okay. Satya Kompalli, you have 20 months experience in a company, still not got any project. My suggestion is jump to other company. Don't waste your time. It is going to kill your learning skills. Learn this kind of courses and jump to other company. Okay. Yes, I'm pasting GitHub URL, please. Yes. Everyone, please collect the GitHub URL, boss. This is our Git URL. Git URL. Still, I have not uploaded today's notes, guys. Yeah, first let me commit the code. Jagadish Shahu, you are working on project struts and he is not giving release or resign. Resign. World is moving towards Spring Boot microservices. Resign from the company, join another company. Got it, guys? Working for few months, okay. Working on struts forever is not okay. Right now, market is so too awesome. Learn this course and happily jump into other company. Happily jump into other company. That's my suggestion. Yes, boss. Yes, this is the Facebook URL where our applications will be up and classroom content will be uploaded, guys. I'll share that one also. Spring Boot. Yes, May 26th. May 26th, done. Right. Yeah, it's a private group. You have to become member of the group to get it. Makito is part of our course, Sumit Anand. This is Facebook group for notes, guys. Right. This weekend or next weekend, Log4j and SLF4j will be there. Right. Hariprasad, if you remove create local date time, you will get null pointer exception of the previous example. Because when that is not there, date property holds null. When null is there, you will get null pointer exception. Definitely you will get null pointer exception for that example, boss. Right, boss? Thank you. I hope by tomorrow you will complete the application and you will come. Right. So thank you. Tomorrow I will give the flow. I will give differences between Spring and Spring Boot. Don't miss the classes. Have a nice time.